what Rohit has asked. Okay, so Rohit, uh, what happens like first of all, let's do it like that. I will ask question, you give me the answer, and then it will be very helpful. So basically, in the database, we have two kind of databases, right? Or the information is which is getting stored. I'll explain you as a broader term, and then I will establish a relationship between Postgre and other databases also. Okay.
Okay.
So when we create any database, basically it has two parts. It is like the metadata or the database information about your database comes as a system, right? System database, right? In other words, you can say in different database, they call it different names. So basically, database is divided into two part. One database, which is part of your system. Another part is user specific data, right? Or custom data, which users are getting logging into the database and they are creating multiple databases, right? Like that, right?
Mm.
So what happens to manage all these databases? System by default creates their internal schemas and databases. Okay, why they create? Because these databases are RDBMS databases, relational database management system. So when they
Mm.
create the relational database management system, every database have its own objects and entities. Okay, when I say objects and entities are nothing but table, views, materialized view, all those things, right? Column, constraints, table privileges, routine, and all, right? So it is created right inside your database. To manage the information about all these things, we have system database, right? So
Mm.
when over a time, what happens if you see the MySQL also, previously in the older release, you used to get only MySQL schema, but gradually they started MySQL database, then information database and performance database, which is nothing but MySQL schema, information schema, and performance schema. So these uh, systems are very large, right? Technically, they have to maintain thousands of data, thousands of tables, right? And thousands of objects. Okay. To to segregate the type of object, let's suppose one group of the objects or the views are belongs to performance. One group of tables or metadata belongs to information. So basically information schema is nothing but the holding the data where you want to create get the information about your database, like how many tables are there, what kind of statistics table has, is it updated or not, what column we have, how many columns have constraints, what kind of constraints are there. So when you query the information schema, you get the metadata of your custom databases basically. Make sense? Is it clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you, yeah, please go ahead. I think you have some
So
doubt.
basically, if we say that information schema and catalog tables, there are basically two things in Postgres, or
Mhm,
recently they have add up more
mhm,
system one
mhm.
database also. Anything, it's an information schema and catalog tables, no? Two.
Information schema and catalog tables are two things as of now for you to
Okay.
understand. But there are
Okay.
other things that might come in the future, which is related
Okay.
to AI and ML. That discussion
Okay.
is going on, but it still not released. So people who are from the MySQL background, how many default schema or database they see? They see MySQL. What else? Information and performance, right? Going forward, uh, I'm not very sure when it will come. You will see another schemas like AI or ML or vector. This is just my prediction that might see few more schemas to be added in the future databases release, because I'm part of some of the product release, so that discussions are happening. So you might see that vector database related schema might come, machine learning related schema might come, so like that. But is it clear so far? why we use all these performance schema or information schema or catalogs, just to get the information about the databases, basically in a very high level term. Okay. Another thing,
Mm.
information schemas are basically combination of views which are created on top of catalog table. Okay. So actual database, actual information is still not held by information schema. Some data might be held by
Okay.
information schema, but actual in the Postgre terms, the majority of or the 99.9% data comes from your catalog tables only. Okay,
So,
makes sense?
basically, it's stored in, for example, we have PG catalog,
Oh,
information schema. If I say hyphen L, the
mhm.
information schema does not visible in that. But where,
Correct.
yeah,
Information schema is not visible, but it has its views
okay,
and the types which you can query and get the data. So PG underscore class, basically. We'll come to that. Let's
okay,
not
okay,
discuss PG underscore class
okay,
now because other people might get confused. Okay.
okay, okay.
Okay. Nagesh, so dbeaver, just go and create your connection like this.
Mhm.
Simply put the IP of your remote server.
I think Ethernet. Okay.
So this is your databases. It have small issue, edit connection, show all database. Just click this option. Then only it will show you all the database and then refresh your connection. So now it will show you the other databases also. Can you see here?
Yes, we can.
Same thing you can do with pgadmin also. pgadmin you can run on Docker also. I personally prefer to run it on Docker because whenever I want to upgrade it, it is just a minute of task.
So Abhishek, this PG admin is
Mhm.
like you have installed in Windows or you have installed in Linux?
I have installed it on Windows.
Okay.
So this is just a, you are from which database? Well, basically, which
DB,
database?
DB2.
DB2. So DB2 have a client, right? I
Yeah.
think IBM gives a client, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
To which we can install it on all the desktops and we can manage remote databases. So it is
Yeah.
same like that. People who are from the MS SQL background, they can think like it is, what is that? MySQL Studio, right? What do they call? MSSTS, something like that, right? They call MySQL Management Studio. So people who are from the MySQL, they can think like PG admin is SQL Server Management Studio. People who are from the Mongo, they can think like it is Robo 3T. We have Robo 3T, right? Which we use to connect to Mongo database remotely, right? Mongo people or Compass, Mongo Compass. That's what we use, right? To connect to Mongo database remotely, Mongo Compass. MySQL, we use MySQL Workbench. People from the Oracle, they use SQL Developer, right? SQL Developer we use. Like that, we have n number of tools which we use to connect to our remote databases. My personal favorite is dbeaver, okay? Because when I install dbeaver, by default, I get an option to connect to these many databases. So that's why I prefer it. It is free of cost. You can use it. So same way, pgadmin also is the tool which you can connect to your database and you can connect to your remote servers. Add new server, name test, connection, give the name, give the password like that. Connected, right? It's connected to your database. Is it clear so far? I'm going into depth from here. So everyone is good. Any question, concern, allegation, doubt, debate you want to do, I'm open for that. But please speak up. Please do not accept any of my words until unless you are clear. I'm fine with that. Everyone, are we clear? Can we go ahead? Can I go ahead?
Yes.
So user schema role. We have at least covered that particular part. Now, the another important thing when we are talking about all these things, search path. A lot of people, when they go to interviews, just to simply understand about their knowledge or something, people ask about search path. So what is search path? What is the core concept behind search path? So the concept behind search path is how the selectivity is going to happen when a user is hitting to a schema or a database. Okay. So for the other side of the people who are working in a different databases, they basically they might get confused a bit, but let me clarify it. Let's suppose I am a user. I'm connecting to a database. So first of all, my user belongs to a schema. Okay, schema. So what is the traditional way of connectivity? Traditional way of connectivity is I will simply go and hit to my user. User will go and hit to my schema. Okay. But as I mentioned, Postgre is a very advanced database. It gives you multiple options based on your requirement. So there is another concept called search path. Mean to say, first, when we hit to a schema, it will hit to which schema first. Okay. So let's suppose in your search path, you have given that my search path first schema preference is public. So whenever a user will connect, it will first land into public schema. And then you have given search path as your custom schema cus1 c1 something like that. Then it will be the next priority. Okay. 99.9% we are not changing the search path, but as we are reading about it, it is my, you know, I just want to make you understand about search path. So basically search path is just a way which you can define that how your users is going to execute the query on your database. So let's suppose currently what is my search path? If I run a query, which schema it will hit? It will hit to
Public.
public. But let's suppose I have a specific requirement. So what I will do, I can change it to like this also. Set search path to schema 1, schema 2 and schema public. So now my search path will get changed. So now if my user will land into my schema or my user is connected to this particular schema, which particular schema it will land first?
Schema 1.
Schema 1. Never ever touch the search path until unless you have a specific requirement. This is just a small piece of information from the interview point of view or from the discussion point of view that I'm teaching you, but you should not change it until unless you have a specific requirement. It happens only for those kind of application where you have developing a specific product. Okay, let's suppose you are developing a product for a specific purpose. In those kind of scenarios, search paths and all are can be useful, but it is just an extra piece of information. It's not at all important that. And second thing, don't change it without understanding your application. Otherwise, you can create a outage in the production. Make sense, everyone? Search path.
So if you change the schema, it will create any glitch in the
Glitch in the
database.
production because now my query supposed to write like this. Previously it was simply like this. Now search path has changed. I have to every time define my in my code I have to define the schema, then table, like that. So be very specific when you are touching any search path related thing. Ask multiple questions why you want to change the search path. Why is the specific need? So that's why it is very important that you should not touch the search path. But as we are talking about all these things,
but if you want to fetch some records from schema 1 or schema 2, so in that case, if you mention that schema 2 dot tab or something, so we can fetch that records, right?
yes, we can fetch it. But normally when developers are writing their code, uh, what I have seen normally, they are like, now I see that people are writing that code with the specific schema name and everything, but some people are writing generic code. So when your code is generic code, then there might be some issue might happen. Then you have to go and explicitly assign your public or private or whatever schema you want to give. Okay, like that.
Abhishek, I thought it was something, for example, it's a global one. If someone changes, it reflects to other user also.
Correct. It is global one. It is not specific to session. It is a global setting. It is going to impact your entire cluster. I mean to say that the current database which you are currently working. So that's why I'm telling, just for the interview sake, it is important, but never ever change it until unless you have very clear visibility that what is going to happen, how your application is selecting the data.
So for example, in DB2, what we do is whenever we are creating any object or selecting any object, we mention the particular schema. Okay, set schema,
Schema.
schema name.
Correct.
So
Correct.
is that the same or different?
This is the same, but here I'm just changing the sequence of selectivity. I don't
Okay,
want.
but that will not cause any issues to the to other users, right? So that
It might cause if they are not using the schema dot table name, something like that. If their code is generic code.
yeah. If they are not using that,
Yes,
okay. If they
yes,
are using
yeah.
particularly, then it will not
Then
pass, right?
I'll tell you, based on my last 20 years of experience, 99.9% developers are simply writing the code. Sometimes they
Yeah,
don't define. The moment you change these kind of thing, it will be disaster. So
got
just for the knowledge purpose, it's good, but don't change it until
okay,
unless you know your code. Otherwise, some code might work, some code might not work.
okay.
Abhishek, just one question. For example, there is a users table that is in public schema, and there is also a users table in another custom schema. So I want to search for example, in another schema. So I have to set a search path for that, na, for
Hmm.
searching. That
In
will
that case, you will explicitly define your schema dot table name, like Oracle, like MySQL.
okay
So,
for okay.
mhm,
But for viewing that table, that
mhm,
users table is in custom schema. I have to set search path, na, for that.
right. For that, you have to set the search path. So it's completely depending on how you are want to provide the selectivity to your application. In other words, completely depending the selectivity purpose, but don't disturb it, don't change it until unless you have a very good, visibility of your application side. Simple. Is it clear? At least.
Abhishek, can we like compare with Oracle? Like when we
Mhm.
set the current underscore schema, we might
Correct.
have similar to this one. Okay.
Similar to this.
But
Similar to this.
but that is like session level. We are going to be say that. But here, this is like it's going
Yeah.
to be in the like entire Postgres database level,
For
right? Which
entire
is not
Postgre, entire
server level.
entire your server level, you are telling. You have changed it
Yeah.
entire server level. So don't do
This is
that.
not like
This is not
okay.
the. So, but there might be some use cases where they want to do it specifically when they are writing some kind of product or something. So they might be using it. Okay. Clear, right? Just extra piece of information, search path. If anyone asks, just you can answer like this. But are we clear so far? Because I'm going into more depth from here. Everyone clear? Now, can I get a thumbs up? If you have a single % of doubt, don't accept my words. We can have a discussion here. Because now we are going to learn about few more things related to this, which might create confusion because you are from a different database side.
So here also you set at session level, right? It will not impact, I guess.
No, it will impact entire cluster. I did a cluster level. See, I will log out. I will log back.
No, it's a session level thing.
No, I think it is set on the database level.
Yeah, it's database, but at session level, the passwords path thing.
Okay, 1 minute. Which version is this?
In all version, I guess it works like this.
Okay. Okay. No, but okay. Let me check
It's
about it.
something like you are, yeah. So it will impact when we alter the user with search path, something like this.
Correct. When we user, in that case, it will get applied into the entire cluster level. Okay. So the current
Yeah.
one, what I did, it might have just impacted my particular
Yeah,
session.
correct.
But
Correct
if
session.
you set on the user level or the role level, that particular user and role will search it, go to the particular cluster or particular schema. So again and again, that's what I'm telling. Whenever you are changing any search path, make sure you understand the entire flow of your application. I will get the command also to change the user level also to show you. Are we clear till now? Can I go ahead,
Yes.
everyone? So we have so far whatever we have seen on the database level. Okay, like that, Postgre also provides you lot of non-database related commands. Okay, so same like Oracle, like if you go to the Oracle, Oracle gives you two set of applications. Okay, this is very important. Everyone has to understand it carefully because otherwise you will get confused. So every database gives you two set of utilities. Two set of utilities. One set of utilities works from the database prompt itself. Another set of utility works on the OS prompts. Okay. So always think like we have two set of utilities. One is whatever works on your database prompt, another set of utilities which works on the OS prompt. So whatever I was doing so far, let's suppose whatever I did here, it is nothing but the utilities or command or metadata command which was working on where, which category? Which category? Database level category. But being an administrator, there are chances that you have to also understand about OS related utilities also. For example, MySQL people might be running MySQL export command to export the data in .csv format, which is nothing but database related command. Oracle people might be running the spool command, right? You run spool command, right? Oracle database engineers, they run spool command to give the output to
Yes.
CSV. Sometimes they use set commands. Sometimes in Mongo, we use, I think db.define something like that to get the output to a CSV file, something like that. We have n number of things which we run it on the database level. But being an engineer, being a very good Postgre database engineer, we should also understand the OS level of the commands also. Okay, like MySQL is a MySQL database, but also MySQL gives you MySQL admin commands, right? So like that, SQL also gives you a lot of admin commands. Okay, so here when you want to find your command, what commands you have from the OS level, simply simply go and locate your, I think locate command is not installed. DNF install -y locate. Okay, locate. Okay, so let me find the actual command to install the locate. I will give you all the ways to find the utilities and everything, so that whatever is suits to your operating system, let's suppose you are in a Ubuntu, Linux or anything, you can, I think it is DNF install locate. No, I don't know. I think I have to find it here. Oh, locate. 1 second. Locate. Install
mlocate,
locate. Huh? On
mlocate, mlocate, I guess, in Alma Linux.
Alma Linux is mlocate. Okay, so mlocate. So locate command is a command which works as a dictionary of your Linux operating system. But first time locate command is not going to work. First time, if you do locate, it is not going to work. Let's suppose like this. So what we have to do, we have to run update db. Whenever you run install the locate command, always run update db, so that, can you see this? Now the difference, previously my command was failing, but now I got the output. Previously it was failing. There was no database created. So the update DB is going to update the current state of your Linux operating. So here, whenever you locate, you will find a different binaries. Okay. So for example, pgctl, one binary. Okay. So locate pgctl, update db, pgctl binary. So let's suppose, can you see here? pg underscore ctl. So this is nothing but a Postgre OS level binary. Okay. Same way, we have these many binaries or commands available which you can run on the Linux level. Okay. For example, you are writing a automation. Let's suppose you are writing an automation where you want to create a database. So what is the common practice that we do in other databases? When we create the database, what we do? We log into the database, right? To create a database, right? But
Yes.
here Postgre is a very advanced database. It gives you option also, test db02. What it will do? It will create your database under your cluster. So like that, we have n number of utilities available in the Postgre. Postgre is a very advanced database, very advanced database, which you can use to run all these commands. It has n number of commands. Okay. So apart among of these all commands, which commands are important, which a DBA should understand, or which command DBA should learn about it. So there are few commands which I want everyone should understand is vacuum DB command when we have to run vacuum, reindex DB whenever we have to reindex the databases and all. We have PL SQL, which we already use PL SQL to connect to the database. Okay, and also we have PG rewind. So when time will come, I will make you understand about PG rewind, PG restore when you have to restore the backup, PG dump and PG dump all. So these two things, PGCTL, whenever we have to start or stop any database, we use PGCTL. PGCTL create subscribers. When you are doing logical replication and all, you create subscribers and also like that. So here there are some few important commands initdb. When you are initializing a database freshly or new, you use initdb like that. Drop user, if you want to drop any specific user like that. So these are coming under the category of OS commands. Okay. Another important thing, another very important thing, they are, we have seen two set of commands, right? So far, two set of commands, DB commands and the commands on the OS level. There are certain commands which you will see in the future when I will teach you about Petroni, EDB and all. You will see the custom commands also. Custom commands are nothing but the commands which comes along with your product. Let's suppose I have installed Postgre from Percona. So what will happen? I might see some more utilities related to Percona. So what are the common utilities that come along with Percona? So Percona gives you Postgres Percona tools. So sometimes when you install Postgre from Percona, you might see some extra binaries here. If you are installing your Postgre database from EDB, you might see some more utilities. So don't get confused. These utilities might be added using your Postgre version, the kind of flavor that you are using. So every utility has its own meaning in forward. Some of the things we will ignore, some of the things we will add into our future classes. So are you clear? We have two kind of utilities. One is the utilities which we run, or the commands, or the things, or any packages we run from the which level, from which level, DB level, and some utilities are defined to run on the OS level. Make sense? Yeah, Raj, please ask your question.
So I was asking, like when
Mhm,
you type pgctl, you directly go to the DB and you do your
mhm,
command side. So
mhm,
ideally, I'm talking to the in the reference of MySQL. We
mhm.
need to give the password in order to log into the DB, right? So
Correct.
here I don't see any password getting used. So
Because
how
I'm not using password authentication to go to the PG SQL. The moment I will enable it using pg_hba.conf, definitely it will start asking for the password. Currently it
okay?
is widely open. So in MySQL, if you want to run, do you use MySQL admin utilities?
I
My
mostly use the terminal.
terminal. Okay. So for MySQL admin, every time you have to put the password, but here it's not like that. If your pSQL is not configured with the password, definitely your utilities might not ask. But some utilities like this one got failed, right? I have executed one utility. What was that? Is ready. So if I want to run the is ready, I have to pass some variable or some switches like that. PG is ready. Where is that? So let me see how to execute PG is ready, so that I will show you. So every utility, some utilities might get executed immediately. Some utilities need some extra, uh, is some extra parameters. Let's see, PG. So it's like that. PG is ready.
So if I want to restrict that only by
Mhm,
password, only
mhm,
I should enter the DB. How do
mhm.
I do that?
You have to go to your PG_admin and you have to just enable the password method.
And
I
on
will
the
show you that
terminal?
also. No, 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 no. See here, it is running now. So PG is ready is just a command to check whether your database is accepting connections or not, like that. So uh, I will explain you that also. Don't worry. We have a option of we have a section of PG_HB_ configuration that I will show you after the class also how to do
Okay.
that. Yeah, but like MySQL, until unless here in Postgre, if it is not configured, you are going to execute it directly without any prompting. Okay.
Okay.
So all these utilities, the more you understand these utilities, it is going to make your life easy. Okay. The more you understand all these things, you can write better automations. Basically, a lot of DBAs are not understanding these OS related commands also. So try to understand these commands. These are important in such a sometimes when you are writing a automation and all. And also in the future sessions when we will install Petroni, when we install PG backrest and all those things, you might see all these kind of things. Another important thing, whenever you write PG and you do tab, you get lot of suggestions. Okay, so these are nothing but these are also some of the utility which is coming from your environment variable. Okay, the kind of environment is set, these kind of utility comes into your specific session. Okay, so we have to understand these utilities also. So in future I am going to teach you PG dump all, PG restore, PG dump and PG base backup. So I will explain you how to work on all those things. Okay, make sense so far here? All these things, is it clear,
Yes.
everyone? So using PG, PG is ready. Can we write some kind of automation which can tell us that my database is up and running? Is it possible? Let's suppose without logging into the database, I want to understand whether my database is up and running or not. Okay.
Yes, it should be possible, but I don't know how to do it.
Yes. So simply write a shell script if PG is ready and send it to a particular variable. And every time I'm just writing a if condition. If the output of this command is going to be, positive, then it will show me up. If it is negative, it will show me down. So simply write chmod plus x pg is up. Okay, so I have to correct my script a bit. Let me correct it. If right, the moment. Okay, another thing. Let me briefly talk about one small utility, then I will ask. We have seen a utility called PGCTL. Okay, so what is PGCTL? PGCTL is a utility which we use to start and stop the database. Okay, so let's suppose what is the common way so far how we start or stop the database? Currently
System CTL.
being my
System.
system CTL. So what is the implication of doing system CTL? What is wrong with that, or what is the downside of that?
It is a
They're
voice,
different,
right?
right?
Voice
Because
related.
Mm,
system CTL belongs
it
to
is.
server, PGA CTL belongs to
Ah,
database.
very good. So what is the significance? Why you are speaking like this? Belongs to this, belongs to that. What is so important in that?
Permissions, like it's like entirely controlled by the cluster level is system
Ha.
CTL.
Okay, so the important thing is system CTL commands are controlled by root user. In some of the environment, if you are not getting the system CTL access, which is like banks or banks or insurance sector, where they don't give you root access to DBAs, how you are going to control your database start or stop? So for those kind of purposes, and this is an interview question also. Sometimes people ask like, I don't have root privilege, but I want to reload my database. So simply PGCTL. Most of the time, if you are not getting your PGCTL, so simply what you have to do, what is the thing? you have to do? You have to find your PGCTL. Where is your PGCTL? Simply take the PGCTL which is related to your database and minus D PG data status, right? And stop. Down, right? My database is down. Now let me run my script. Make sense? My database is down using PGCTL without, I have not switched from Postgre to root. I have simply stopped it. The moment I have executed my automation, it says it is down. The moment I will start it, my automation will say, okay, it's up. So these are the combination permutation things which you can use to write the automations. These things are important when you are writing CI/CD pipelines. That's why I was specifically writing this kind of code and showing you why it is important for CI/CD. Or let's suppose I am writing a flyway code pipeline to push my code. Why these kind of important things are important? What
We
is
get
so important?
better controllability from the Jenkins itself. So
Correct. So the very important part of Jenkins is whenever we start any automation, what is the core logic or what is the core concept of concepts? Whenever you are starting a database deployment, you should always check the state of your targets. Why state is important?
otherwise, the output will not get the desired output, right?
Desired output, or we'll get a lot of errors. So whenever you are writing a CI/CD pipelines or you are writing any automation, always go and do the stuff like that, whether your target is ready or not to accept your commands. So that's why I was explicitly telling you to understand the what, which part is more important to understand. Most of the people just understand this, but they don't understand this part of the commands. Make sense, everyone? Now, are we able to connect the dots between everything? Are we able to understand why we are talking all these things? Everyone? Or you're confused or clueless what we are talking about here? Anyone? Today, why we are
So,
quiet?
so
People are not
Abhishek, the
speaking.
hyphen
Yeah,
D
yeah.
option, hyphen capital D is nothing but we are
Database directory.
directory.
Database directory.
And
Everyone?
Abhishek, like,
Mhm,
what the like what in the real time?
mhm.
So which command is using regularly for this one? Like,
This is the
suppose
command
sudo.
which you use.
Okay, so systemctl might not have the every
Hmm.
time get the privileges, or sudo
Uh,
also we can get the privilege, right?
Sudo also you can get the privilege, but in that case you have to configure your sudoers file to reach to PGCTL.
Agree.
Or
But in the real time projects, I'm saying in the so whether the people give this one or what is the best practice they're going to be doing in the real
okay,
time?
okay. So basically, when you are using PGCTL, PGCTL is provided by the Postgre database. So PGCTL is more safer than stopping the database using systemctl. First thing,
That's
because
right.
PGCTL is also comes with lot of modes, which used to happen like 10-15 years back when we used to work with the older version of the Postgre. We should also pass the database level start and stop like Oracle. So in Oracle, you have multiple ways of starting the database, right?
Hmm.
Start, immediate, no, mount, all those things, right?
Right.
So same way, in the older release of the Postgre, we used to have smart mode,
Fast
fast
and
mode,
immediate.
and immediate mode.
Hmm.
So these modes are only working with PGCTL. So let's suppose I want to do the smart mode restart, smart mode stop. So what is the difference? What of smart mode? So Smart mode stop is only applicable for a very transactional heavy applications. Let's suppose I'm a payment gateway. Don't want to stop my database like this. I will simply stop with MS option. So what is MS option? MS
In the
option will
application,
wait for all the connections to exist. It will not allow any new connection. And why it is waiting? In my case, any answer?
maybe this is the
Answer is in
reason.
my screen.
DVR is still is there to close. Let me see.
Still the there. So disconnect. See, same thing. If I do, but very carefully use all these options. Okay, Postgre is not mature like Oracle. Sometimes you have to be tested it. Now MF means mode
Wait.
is fast. So here, what it will do, first let me start it. It will not wait for any, it will close and kill all the open transactions. It will not allow any system. So it is dangerous. MF, immediate, no, nothing, but MF can give you some kind of recovery scenario. So we be very careful. Okay. And what is the last option? MI.
So MF is the default option, right? When we are not mentioned also, it's
Not
going to be
mention
tell.
also, MF is going to be. Okay. So like that. That's why people are using PGCTL. Start. MI. MI is a super dangerous. Super dangerous.
It's going to be ask the recovery.
It will ask for the recovery. Okay. So what are the three options? Smart mode, fast mode, immediate mode. I will send the documentation also.
So in the start option, there is no modes like this, right?
No, not specifically like Oracle or other thing. I think other database doesn't have these kind of concept itself. MySQL have concept. Yeah.
One more question.
Mhm.
Like when you trigger from the system CTL, it will internally call to the PGCTL, right?
PGCTL only.
Yeah. So where we can see that the like we have any option to see that
Yes,
one like
we
in
have.
which stage.
We have option.
Okay.
So any utility, any daemon, any application, anything which is going to create a process in the Linux operating system is basically can be seen in systemd file. So what is my
Abhishek,
service? Yeah, Manish.
just like I think couple of minutes back, you were discussing about that EG is ready option shell script, right? The risk associated with it. So last week only, like I've used this utility to write one script. Okay, so I've tried two ways. The way which you have shown one. Second one is like using Ansible to like go and do it. So there I've seen like I mean I just want to understand your point of view about this. So we pass that thing like become Postgres and do this. Or in the case of playbook, we write number of tasks there, correct? So like how dangerous this approach is, like if somebody says like become root and do anything like there, right?
It's
So
super dangerous.
so I mean sometime I really wonder like things are getting introduced, but if it falls or if it goes in a wrong direction, what could damage this will cause?
I will
So
give you, I will hide the name and location.
yes,
It
yes,
is not,
definitely.
I will,
Because
it's a very interesting example.
people like see my like I have a very short hand in scripting and all. I just started picking these things up, and we spoke earlier also, right? So I
Yeah.
was just trying to know like what other engineers are doing in the team. So number of jobs are written like that. Even the directory cleaner script was there. So that is also like that only, because under slash data and slash pg val, you have to become root if you want to create directories and same for the like cleanup also. So just suppose whatever argument you are passing, if you just misplace the server name, anyways, like I mean, I have recommended to add 10 seconds delay and a keyword, a manual effort to add it there in a bold letter to write delete. So at least you will have some. I just want to like hear from you. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So I will give you some information after recording, and on the
Okay, no
record I
problem.
will.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll
No
just
problem.
let me give you some information. I will hide the name and everything. So what happens? Writing any automation using root is always dangerous. Always dangerous. If you are not well prepared, you did a single mistake. Let's suppose most of the time M time, where we are matching the log delete with M time, right? Most of the people are doing right there.
Right.
If logs are 7 days old, delete it, right? In the pipe, we
Yes,
put
and
it
that
and delete
is
it.
correct. And I mean, if everybody is like wondering why I brought up this point, is to just mention like this control, like systemctl script needs to be executed using root only, right? Postgres cannot invoke that.
Correct. No, it
So
can, but there is a certain
it can, okay.
configuration.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I mean, with X, definitely, yes. So, I mean, that impression I was having, like, for the root and all. So, I just thought of bringing this up. Yeah, Vijay, please continue.
So the common people, like commonly what we write, find /warlock type equal to file M time plus 7, right? 7 days older all the file, you delete it. Okay. This is dangerously, it's a super duper dangerous approach, because we have not put any mind inside this deletion. Okay. Technically, we should put very specific Postgres SQL star.log, something like that. Majority of the time, whatever you are mentioning, it's absolutely correct. It happens. So first of all, the lesson that I have learned in last 20 years, first of all, never ever use root until unless it is I have very specific need of running my automation from root. Always try to run my automation using DB utilities or DB user. Or if you are not clear, create a separate user for your execution. So what will happen when disaster is going to happen? This particular user, the automation user, is having always less privilege than the root user. So my damage is going to be happen less. But let's suppose I have root user. Okay. And nowadays outages are happening more due to ChatGPT, due to XYZ things. What people are doing, people are straightforward copy pasting the scripts from the ChatGPT and putting it. So what happens, sometimes you are not giving the proper context to your script, and these kind of disaster happens. So that's why, as Manish was mentioning, to his point, let's suppose you are writing an automation and which is specific to Postgres start and stop, or getting the state of your Postgres start and stop. Try to use its own utilities so that you have a better control and you are not going out of your boundaries basically. Okay. So recently there was a company, people created a job supposed to go and delete the 7-day-old file, but I don't know what has written what. It has deleted the entire Oracle home plus their files. It happened. And that Oracle home was not individual Oracle home. It used to belongs to Oracle EBS. How many of you know EBS, right? You know EBS, Oracle e-business suite. It is like ERP solution of Oracle. So that directory got deleted. And it not only deleted in one server, it got deleted in multiple remote servers. It got executed using AWX. So AWX is an Ansible utility. When our database, when our automations increase to certain limit, let's suppose I have 1 or 2 automations, what we do, we just manage it by hand, right? But your automation goes let's suppose 15 automation, 1500 automation, 10,000 automations. So we use a utility called AWX. So using AWX, this particular script was scheduled and it got executed into multiple servers. So that is another thing which you have to be very careful. Any other question? Anything which we want to discuss, because we are already 20 minutes late. Sorry, 13 minutes late. All these things are clear, whatever we have talked about so far. I'm going to send the document also for all these things, so nothing to worry. All the documents are ready. You can get the extra information from the document also. So tomorrow we are going to talk about user management, table space, and we are also going to talk about the different aspect of the database management. Like today we have talked about the start, stop, and all those things. So like that, we are going to talk about the little bit more related to your connection handling, okay, and different utilities. And also we are going to put the database in archive log mode. We will understand how we can put the database in archive log mode, what is the implication and how to do that. Everyone clear?
Yes, Abhishek, I have a request. So first thing is so when give us some a task for the week. Yeah, that is one thing I wanted to tell.
No problem.
Yeah,
I'll give you the
yeah,
assignment.
yeah, and I mean, when we are trying to look the recordings, we so I'm working in night shift, so when I was searching, it's almost Thursday or Friday. Okay, we are not able to. I mean, we hardly get time to watch the line. I mean, time to learn, right? So can you please make sure to upload the recordings by end of Sunday